Some people try to go 10 or 15 miles an hour on their mower to outrun their bees. Dude, bees fly 25 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour, backwards, upside down. What's up? I'm David Burns. Today I've got 5 tips for you on mowing around your hive, weed eating around your hive. Boy, that can be a tough thing to do because bees don't like the sounds of the mower and the weed eater. Let's get right into it with tip number 1. First thing I want you to do, I want you to lay down some pavers, some carpet, maybe some garden fabric before you put your hive down. That way you'll keep grass from growing up around your hive. You may want to make it extended beyond the footprint of your hive, maybe 5 or 10 feet. That way when you mow and weed eat, you'll be 5 or 10 feet away from your hive. So that'll be less noise that the bees are going to pick up when you're trimming around your hive. Believe me, it doesn't take long for grass to overtake the area around your hive. So think of it this way, further back, less attack. So the further back you're going to mow, the less the bees are going to go out there and tell you to move along. And some people might be saying, what about gravel? If I put some rocks down, you know, that works pretty good too, but we all know grass grows right up through that gravel. Grass grows right up through a crack in a piece of concrete. So that may not be your best solution. Plus it holds a little more heat in the gravel around your hive. Tip number 2, I want you to suit up and wear protective gear before you go out there on your mower or with your weed eater. They have the Johnson organ located in their antenna, picks up vibration sounds, and then they have the subguinal located in their legs, also picking up vibration sounds. So they're pretty good at hearing that mower and the weed eater coming from far away. So you want to be suited up. Now when I say suit up, I mean gloves, a full suit. I want you to use duct tape. Like if your legs of your suit don't quite cover your boot or your shoe, the bees are going to stitch your socks to your ankles. So I want some duct tape everywhere. Do not let there be any spot where bees will find a place to sting you as you're trimming around that hive. Tip number 3, I want you to mow fast and intentional. That's right, I do not want you to linger around that hive. That's not the time to be on your riding mower and ride up to the front of it and sit there and enjoy watching them go in and out. They're going to hear that sound, they're going to be aggravated, and they're going to move you along pretty quickly. Also, do not throw your grass cuttings toward the hive. Throw it away from the hive. True with the weed eater. Make sure you don't fill up their entrance with the grass cuttings. They see those as flying objects and that will bother them. Always do the entrance last. Mow around the sides, mow around the back, mow around the front entrance, the last place you're going to deal with, because that's going to be the most sensitive place. Bees are going to notice your activity. Do the entrance last. Also, when you're mowing or weed eating, make sure, on the mower especially, that you make a fast pass across where that side or back or front of the hive is. In other words, don't sit there and try to do a fancy real tight turn on all 4 sides of your hive. Make a pass, go out about 10 or 15 yards, circle back out wide, come back in. What we're trying to do is get them to forget they're hearing the mower up close. So you're limiting the amount of time each time you make a pass that the bees hear that mower. Now we have 2 more exciting tips about mowing and weed eating around your hive. Before I get into those, let me say if you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Also, click on the subscribe button, and we would love to have you as a subscriber. If you click on that bell, you'll be notified each time I make a new video, and I don't want you to miss out, so please do that. All right, tip number 4. After you've mowed, after you've weed eated, you're going to have to maybe do a little more trimming, and for that, let's let the bees calm down and let's get some garden scissors and let's go out and we'll use scissors to trim the grass. It's kind of hard to get to, maybe because of the mower or the weed eater just couldn't get close enough. Those scissors are quiet. You can sneak your way in there like a Navy SEAL and you can just chop that grass out. They'll never know you were there. So that's a little handy tip to use on grooming the grass that may be growing up right up next to your hive stand or sometimes under the hive that you can't get to with the mower or the weed eater. Those scissors will take care of that. Tip number 5 you would think would not have to be said, but do not knock your hive over with the mower. You're thinking, I'll never do that. Yeah, you're thinking that until you do it. Now, I've never hit a hive with the mower, but many of my BeeTeam6 members have, and they've called me up and said, oh my gosh, I've knocked my hive over. Frames are everywhere. Bees are terrible. What do I do? Here's what happens if you accidentally knock over your hive. I want you first to drive about 10 feet away in your mower. Turn it off. Get off of it. Run inside your house. Some people try to go 10 or 15 miles an hour on their mower to outrun their bees. Dude, bees fly 25 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour, backwards, upside down. You're not even going to outrun them, but you're sure not going to do it on that mower. Drive away a little bit, 10 yards out, turn that mower off, head for the house. Get inside the house. Put more gear on. Put 2 pair of pants, 3 socks, 4 shirts. Then put your suit back on. I want you to make sure that you're not going to get stung, because you've got a job to do that's going to be pretty tough. You're going to have to go out there and put a hive back together. Bees are angry. Light that smoker. Take 2 smokers. Smoke the daylights out of that hive. And I want you to start putting it back together. Cowboy up and get it done. There's nobody else that can do it. You're going to have to do it, and it's a tough job. All right, finally, before we wrap it up, why in the world do we want to bother by putting all this effort into trimming around our hive? Is it really that important? I mean, come on. In nature, nobody's trimming around the hives, are they? No, because bees in nature are in a big, tall tree where grass doesn't reach up there. Here's some things to think about. When your grass or weeds are getting up to the entrance, bees have a harder time coming and going. Every time they come in for a landing with that delicious nectar they've worked so hard to gather, now they're faced with your weeds and grass, and they have to navigate through that. They can even lose pollen protein in their legs because it's getting knocked off by all the grass and the weeds in front of their hive. That's a pain in the butt for the bees, to lose the pollen that they worked so hard to gather. Also, there's a lot of bugs around tall grass and weeds, and they're going to get into your hive more. So make sure you keep bugs away by keeping it well trimmed. Better ventilation. When you have the grass cut down, the bees need air to dry down that nectar they brought in so they can turn it into delicious honey. The more grass and weeds you have around your hive, the more it's holding in moisture in the grass and the soil and all. So just clear that out so they can have better ventilation. Think of it this way: better airflow, better honey flow. Just like your outside central air unit, I have to trim my weeds away from it so that it can get air to work properly. If too much grass or weed gets around it, then it begins to not perform well because it just doesn't have good airflow. By the way, now that we're back here, wow! Do you hear the cicadas out there? They're a few miles away, but they're extremely loud. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful. I mentioned BeeTeam6, and if you don't know what that is, I mentor 200 people, beekeepers around the country. They have access to my cell phone, my email, and they can text me when they have questions. That's a mentorship program I started many years ago. It has maxed out to capacity with membership, but I'm a kind and generous man. I've decided to open it up to 30 more. So many of you have been calling and begging me to let you in. And so as of watching this video, I'm going to have 30 spots opened up, and my staff is ready to allow that, and they're okay with the idea. They help me with this a lot, not in answering questions, but organizing this BeeTeam6 and managing it. And they've agreed that we can take 30 more. And so I'm going to leave a link below, and if you're one of these people that are begging to get in, I'm hoping you're watching this video, and so you can get in before it closes. We just can't take more than this 30 additional members, so keep that in mind. Well, I hope this tip has been helpful today, mowing and weed eating around your hive. If you haven't taken one of my online beekeeping courses, you can really learn a lot more with these online courses. I'll leave links below for that as well. Thanks for joining me. Check out my latest video before this one, and that was how to paint your hive. And the one before that one is when to add the next box. I'll see you next time.